Gonna Kill, your favorite sports analyst, with my favorite co-host,
James Derwin.
and y'all about to get served with J&J Sports episode 29. Ooh, I'm feeling good today, James. How you feeling?
I feel fantastic.
Man, today is just one of those days. It's raining, but you feel good. Feel good. Glad to be on the show. We finna get into it, man. First thing we got up is basketball. We're gonna get right into it. So we're gonna talk about Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, he recently joined the Memphis Grizzlies, and I feel like he's on a mission. I watched his post interview, and he said, I didn't come here to babysit. I think he was referring mostly to the whole Ja Morant situation and him. Kind of just to start things off, man. I mean, could Derrick Rose be a good mentor for Ja Morant?
Of course. I think he'd be a fantastic mentor. If you're going to bring anybody in to come help out, a veteran player with not only experience, but a large, impressive resume. I mean, that's going to help Morant out immediately, I feel like.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying, well, Ja Morant's young, but at the end of the day, I feel like everybody has a consequence. It doesn't matter what age. Derrick Rose knows for sure. He's been in and out of the NBA. If we just look at his resume, James, I mean, he's Most Valuable Player award. He's Rookie of the Year, NBA All-Star, All-NBA team. The only thing he is missing is a chip. Do you feel like him being on that team could they possibly get there?
Of course, yeah. I mean, this was a team that was second in the Western Conference last year for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that right there is already impressive. And then you add the talent that they have in the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the recipe for at least a playoff run. Hopefully they make it close to the finals, I'm thinking. So.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like Derrick Rose could kind of take in for Ja Morant because he's suspended, I think, 25 games, I believe. So, Derrick Rose, he's going to have the spotlight for sure for the beginning of the season. I feel like he's definitely on a mission. I like Derrick Rose as a player, and I like his mindset. He doesn't play around. He's going to hold everybody accountable. He's a team player. Now, the only issue, though, we got to realize Ja Morant, when he comes back, how are they going to formate those two? Because, Derrick Rose is a point guard, and he's a point guard. Like, how do you think they're going to have that formation?
See, that's what was kind of interesting to me, because he'll definitely be able to fill in for Morant in the time that he's missing, but then it's, I guess, that youth versus experience type of situation. And,
right.
God forbid one of them has some sort of injury, then you have that insurance for the other guy. And kind of what you were saying about, like, the babysitting comments, that sounds like something that maybe the press was, kind of bringing up often. And, they kept talking about the fact that, you're here now and you're going to have to possibly watch the other players and stuff. But I loved what he said about how he's not here to babysit.
Yeah.
And the way that I see that as him and the respect that he has for Morant as a player.
Right.
Because if he would have been like, yeah, I'm going to be here to watch over everybody. He said, no, I'm not here to babysit.
Right.
I'm here to help out in any way that I can. So,
yeah, exactly. He's one of those players. He has his own mindset. He has his own, I respect him as a player. Just like Damian Lillard, they come handling business. They're not here for any funny business. They're not getting in any other player's business. As long as they come together. Now, honestly, it all really depends on Ja Morant's mindset. If he can sink in with Derrick, be like, hey, man, I'm here with you. I'm ready to work. Let's get to the playoffs. And that's kind of what I want to see. Honestly, so do you think with Ja Morant coming back, they're definitely playoff contenders?
Of course.
Yeah.
I think so. And then, you add Derrick Rose, and I don't see how they don't make the playoffs. I mean, they're going to have to be hit with, like, the serious injury bug or something along those lines. They're not going to be able to go ahead and, repeat in the playoffs.
No, definitely. I mean, even though they lost Dylan Brooks, I think he's on the Rockets now, he's already getting into trouble. He just got a flagrant yesterday for hitting a guy in the groin area. they still should be. They're still a pretty good, solid team. So, like I said, you guys let us know how y'all feel about the whole Derrick Rose comment and just Ja Morant, if you think they're gonna make it in the playoffs and everything like that. I think it's a chance though. It's a definitely good chance. But yeah, guys, before we get into the next one, man, we got to get into the NBA preseason schedule a little bit and the results. So the three main teams we're going to be focusing on is Chris Paul and the Golden State Warriors. Of course, they beat the Lakers this past Saturday, 125-108, with Austin Reeves and LeBron, without those two, Austin Reeves and LeBron James. How you feeling about the Lakers this season? I know the regular season starts at the end of the month, but how do you feel so far with them?
Just because they're the Lakers and because they have LeBron on the team, I still feel good about them.
Yeah.
The preseason, it's always difficult to translate the preseason into the regular season and wonder what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you've got LeBron on your team, you always really have that chance, especially the way that he can help out the younger players and mentor to them.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I agree too. And I feel like the preseason really kind of gives you that mode that they're in. Like, okay, if they're playing really hard now, then, okay, this is how they're finna play the season, to me. You know what I mean? But if we just look at the players of the game, man, Jonathan Kuminga, he had 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Chris Paul, major factor, he had 4 rebounds. I think he's going to be a good factor for them, James. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I think he's going to be a great factor for them. And another team, where you from, actually, the Suns, they beat the Pistons 130-126, and Bill, he had 11 points. I think Bill's going to be a factor, too. Definitely going to be a factor for them. The Celtics, they beat the 76ers 114-106. Porzingis, he had 17 points. How you feel about the Celtics? I know they got rid of their 2 main defensive defenders, but I mean they still got Jaylen Brown. They still got and they got Drew Holiday now. So I mean, how do you feel about them?
I think we're going to see a lot more of a focus on offense for them, because to lose those 2 strong defenders on their team, that's a bit of a hit for the Celtics.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to really focus to go ahead and make the playoffs this year. They're not a lock like some other teams that we think of immediately.
I agree with you, for sure. So not least, we got the Jazz. They beat the Clippers 101-96. How do you feel about the Clippers, man? They gave Russ, they actually dropped his deal that he had a little bit. They kind of gave him lesser money. How you feel about them? Like, how you think they're going to play?
I think that they're going to play well this year. I don't know if they make the playoffs again this year. It just depends on how they're able to hold things together during the season.
Right.
But I know they seem like the team that definitely, especially in their city, they don't get as much respect as the Lakers.
Yeah.
And, obviously titles win you automatic respect pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers team does have more titles. They have more superstars on their team, so they kind of overshadow them a lot. I definitely agree with you. But you guys, let us know who is your team for the regular season at the end of the month. Please place your bets in. Let us know who y'all think gonna take it this year. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. But yeah, we're gonna get into our next topic.